So Bill Barr is not Jesus and he's not Socrates, and I'm sure he would agree with that. However, he's an honest man in Washington, and it has been remarkable. It has been remarkable to watch the clerisy turn on him for bringing up Obamagate, for bringing up the fact that this was an untoward use of the Justice Department by the Obama administration. Remember, his attorney general said, I am Obama's wingman, right? Eric Holder said, I'm Obama's wingman. Barr said today, no, you're not supposed to be the wingman. You're supposed to be independent. He put out an opening statement. He made an opening statement saying, ever since I made it clear that I was going to do everything I could to get to the bottom of the grave abuses involved in the bogus Russiagate scandal, many of the Democrats on this committee have attempted to discredit me by conjuring up a narrative that I am simply the president's factotum who disposes of criminal cases according to instructions, judging from the letter inviting me to this hearing. That appears to be your agenda today. And, you know, the voice of the left right now is perfectly put out by Valerie Jarrett, the hack who's basically played Barack Obama's conscience. Let's just hear, I just want you to hear what she had to say about Russiagate.
Maybe this was one piece of a bigger puzzle. But I do know that it's nearly 4 years ago, and I don't understand why our focus isn't on what's happening right now and today. That's the investigation I'd like to see.
Well, what's happening right now is we are learning... Valerie, what's happening right now is we are learning the details of what took place.
The question I really want to put to you is, what are we doing today? If people want to have an investigation about what happened 4 years ago, they should do that. But aren't you concerned about what's going on right now? Aren't you worried about the integrity of our upcoming elections? Aren't you worried about how we're going to have a safe and fair election?
Yes, that's why I'm asking you this question.
This is classic Clinton technique, a classic Clinton technique. Stonewall, 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 cover up, and then say, oh, that's an old story. Why are you covering it? It's been litigated. What difference at this point does it make? You know, that was a classic Clinton, Hillary and Bill. Stonewall, stonewall, and then, oh, it's an old story. It's you've already covered that. And so now you've got this guy, Bill Barr, who is in office. So the idea about him is that he is going to be the puppet of Donald Trump. He, at one point, well, let's play. We've got some of the clips. It's going on as we speak, so I can't get you all of them. But this is what he said about his relationship with Trump, who, by the way, he didn't even know he did not have a relationship with before he took office. Cut 13.
Criminal cases are handled even-handedly based on the law and the facts and without regard to political or personal considerations. And I can tell you that I've handled criminal matters that have come to me for decision in this way. The president has not attempted to interfere in these decisions. On the contrary, he has told me from the start that he expects me to exercise my independent judgment to make whatever call I think is right, and that is precisely what I've done.
This is amazing. And one of the things he said about this, which was great, because I wish more, if we had any journalists, they would do this to people. He said, name one time I have attacked Trump's enemies or helped his friends. And he said everybody brings up Roger Stone, but in fact, he said Stone should go to prison. He shouldn't go to prison for as long as the prosecutors said, because that was out of keeping with the standards and guidelines of the Justice Department. But he said he broke the law and he should go to prison. He said, name one time. And of course, there's no response to that. Whenever you hear someone say, Trump is the greatest danger to our freedoms, you name one time. You know, I mean, they have to make up this stuff. They have to tell you that it's wrong for the federal agents to go in and defend federal buildings while people were rioting. There is no riot. The federal agents started the riot. Federal agents are getting in the way of democracy. This is a rehearsal for a military takeover of the country. They have to make up this entire story to keep from saying the simple truth that they can't get Trump on any infringement of our constitutional rights. You can get Trump on being a loudmouth. You can get Trump on being impolite. You can get Trump on sending out stupid tweets and, more importantly, retweeting stupid tweets. You can get him on all those things if you want, but you can't get him on violating the Constitution. But you can get somebody whose name begins with O. That's the guy who really did start to violate our Constitution and threaten our rights by using the IRS, by misusing the Department of Justice. And that's what they can't stand about Barr. It's either that's an old story, let's not look at it, or it's you must be evil. Now, the other thing that they were coming after Barr about was just amazing. This idea that basically enforcing the law in Portland and Seattle and all these rioting Democrat cities, that this was somehow an infringement of his responsibilities. And Barr's answer to this was such an incredible moment of truth in a congressional hearing, just to have, you hear these things in op-ed, you'll hear them on this show, but it was shocking to hear the Attorney General just say the quiet part out loud. This is cut 12.
The threat to black lives posed by crime on the streets is massively greater than any threat posed by police misconduct. The leading cause of death for young black males is homicide. Every year, approximately 7,500 black Americans are victims of homicide. The vast majority of them, around 90%, are killed by other blacks, mainly by gunfire. Each of those lives matter.
So that is always the shocking statistic, because, of course, what it means is that the police interaction with black people is not primarily guided by racism. Of course, it's not. It is guided primarily by crime in black neighborhoods. And this is a problem. And nobody is saying that black people commit crimes because they're black. That's not the point. And nobody is saying there's not a history of racism in all countries, and including this country. There is. And we have to suffer for it more because we let more people in to the center of our country. We let more people rise to the top. I mean, when was the last time you saw a black prime minister of England or a black president of France? That's not something you're going to see in a big hurry. But here you see that. We let people in to the center of our power culture. And so we are going to deal more with the wages of our sins. Everybody has the same sins. The sins are not different. Our sins are probably a little less in this regard than other people, but we have to deal with them because we are committed to allowing every American to have a shot at power, to have the ability to come into the power centers. So we have to be answerable. That's fine with me as long as we're telling the truth, as long as we're getting our facts straight, and as long as we're making sure that cause and effect is being responsibly directed. Let us listen to Gerald Nadler, the man who said that the riots in Portland are a myth, that Antifa is a myth, the man who promulgated Russiagate. He was just so incompetent. He was. That's what I love about the Democrats. They don't throw you out for lying. They throw you out for lying badly. It's like the old joke about the French kid who sees his parents making love, and the parents try to explain, we were making love, and the French kid says yes, and badly. And the thing about Jerry Nadler is that he was lying, but badly. So Nancy Pelosi threw him off the lead in the Russiagate thing, and here he is, without any responsibility to his past mistakes, without any responsibility to his lies, going after the probably the most honest man with Pompeo in Washington, D.C.
Again and again, you personally have interfered with ongoing criminal investigations to protect the president and his allies from the consequences of their actions. When career investigators and prosecutors resisted these brazen, unprecedented actions, you replaced them with less qualified staff who appear to be singularly beholden to you. The message these actions send is clear. In this Justice Department, the president's enemies will be punished, and his friends will be protected, no matter the cost to liberty, no matter the cost to justice.
I always love when there's like career liar, this guy we know is just who has lied and lied and lied and lied, who has sent letter after letter demanding evidence that wasn't there, who's come up with absolutely nothing. 3 years he held this country hostage to this Russiagate hoax, came up with absolutely nothing. He's lecturing Barr. I always love the look on Barr's face. It's like a cartoonist couldn't have made it up. He always looks like he's just thinking, what's for dinner? I wonder what I'm having for dinner today, because he just looks like he is so tired, sick and tired of this nonsense. Kayleigh McEnany, as always, has the truth of the matter, and she really puts it forward. This is cut one.
Attorney General Barr has done an incredible job, and the real problem that Democrats have with Attorney General Barr is that he's actually taking Russiagate seriously, this bogus sham effort that was launched against President Trump when he was just a candidate and went into his administration. The fact that Bill Barr is looking into why the Obama administration spied on the Trump campaign is their real problem. That he is in seek of the truth, and that is their problem with Attorney General Barr.
You know, it really is. And when you consider the fact, that's just the truth. I mean, that's just the simple fact of the matter. They're after him because he's after them. He's after them because they broke the law. He's after them because they violated the Constitution. He's after them because they misused the Justice Department and they don't like it. So they're castigating him. But what is really important here is the press, is the Academy, who back up these clowns like Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff, these dishonest little, kind of lowlifes who are in our government. They're backed up by this massive entertainment industry, which is so beautiful. You know, our entertainers are so beautiful. They're so good looking. They're so talented. Our people on the news, many of them very talented, very intelligent, very well spoken. That's the problem that we have, is we have a society that is now antithetical to objective truth. It now says objective truth is a matter of whiteness, which of course is ridiculous. And anybody writing that on a computer should stop using the computer, because it was invented with objective science. It wasn't just thought into the air. This is the problem. This is the picture of the world that we get from the trial of Socrates. This is the picture that we get from the Passion of the Christ. This is the picture of the world, because this is the world. And it's sad that we have to be living in a time when it's exposed and comes to the fore once again. Before you go, one last thing. Hit the subscribe button so that you stay up to date on all our content.